Hi, my name is Tara.
I'm Dave.
And we're the Thirsty Thrifters. Cheers. I sell on Poshmark with Dave's help, and sometimes eBay. And my closet name is Tara Stutes. All one word.
Right there.
We do videos about thrift hauls, about what sold, sometimes some tips, and
sometimes about England.
That's very random. But this video is about a tip about trying methods for increasing your sales on Poshmark. So this is the third one or fourth one. I have lost track now. I think it's number 3. It's the third one I've tried.
The third one.
We will put links to the others in the description below and put them on a playlist for things I've tried. And this is, as I said, number 3. But at first I want to go over...
Well, this is where I interview you.
At the end.
At the end.
Dave has to have something to do.
I have to do numbers too, I think.
First I want to go over the background.
First.
There are 5
we're
things...
going to do that again?
Oh my gosh.
We always do the background.
There are 5 things that I have done for a long time in my Poshmark world that I
5 things?
Continue to do. 5 things, and Dave likes to put up his fingers to number them. The
1.
first is that I share my entire closet 1 at a time, 3 times a day.
3 times.
The second
2.
is that I send offers to likers after each like 15 minutes or later after, and I have stuck with, for this experiment, 10% plus the shipping discount. So no big huge discounts, just 10%. Next, number 3, every day I scroll to the bottom of my listings that are sorted by newest first, and I send my best and final offer on the 5 oldest items, and then I come around the next day, and if they haven't sold, I will relist them. The 4th thing I do is I list 5 brand new items per day. These last 2 are like kind of approximations. I generally do this many. There are days when I am too tired to do it, but it's generally 5 of both a day. And the last thing is Dave's favorite, and that is to share some items from my PFF's closets. And I don't think it does anything except foster friendships with people on Poshmark.
Forever.
Those are the 5 things I have been doing, and I have continued to do unless stated otherwise.
Yeah, she'll let you know.
Because I'm going to keep up. I'm not going to like quit doing stuff that I was doing because that would mess up my numbers.
Tara's not a quitter.
And seeing if it was consistent or if my sales increased. So also to give you some figures on how I calculate.
We drink wine.
Oh yeah. Okay, Dave's going to interrupt with this.
Air glow.
We're trying wine from a wine service called Bright Cellars.
This stuff is good. This is from France, though. This is French.
This is I think the 4th one we've had from this box we got.
Bordeaux, which is a weird word. And then it's got brambleberries. Never heard of them. Yeah, pretty good. Medium-bodied, dry, not too oaky.
We like dry wines, and it's dry.
Pretty good.
And so, yeah.
Back to what you were saying.
Back to what I was saying. My baseline for numbers. What I did was I looked at December of one year and compared it to December of last year, because we all know different months of the year have different amounts you sell. Like you're going to sell less in the middle of summer than you do right before Christmas in general. So I compared December to December. And from one year to the next, because I had more items and because I was better at selling, I had increased my sales by 33.58%. So I predicted
33.58%.
It's just the number. I took that number and applied it to this year's. So I took January of 2019, increased it by 33.58%, and that is what I predicted I would make, just doing everything normal. So if I went above that with these sales methods, that's a victory. Okay? Make sense? So the increase was telling me that I would make, where's my daily amount? I have lost it. There's so many papers with so many numbers. $51.15 per day. And that is profit. That is not sales.
That's your expected amount.
That's my expected amount. So that would be normal.
I
that
am
would
following,
not be
even though
great.
it doesn't look like it.
And that, as I said, that's after fees. So that's not including, or that is after the Poshmark 20% fee and any shipping discounts I give. Okay, so this is not just flat sales, because I could give flat sales and then give everybody free shipping.
Let's not do that.
And that would cut down on my profit. This is profit after all those fees. Okay, so this method that I did this 1 week is that I doubled the number of shares I did every day.
Oh, you're talking about the 6 times a day?
Yeah, to keep up with...
I was like, you haven't done anything this week.
This is a new week. So I did this for 7 days. I normally share my closet 3 times a day. So it's not like I went from nothing and then suddenly I'm sharing all the time. It was 3 times a day, which is what a lot of people recommend. And that's a lot for some people.
She jumped it up to 6.
I jumped it up to 6. And I have right now around 500 listings. So it was a little bit of a chore because I wasn't used to it. It wasn't hard, but Dave's going to start my questionnaire to get into the details.
We're going to do the interview now?
We're going to do the interview now.
It's interview time.
Yes, it is.
How long did it take, Tara?
So as I said, I was already doing 3 times a day. So the extra 3 times was about 15 to 20 minutes each time. So total, it was an extra hour and 15 minutes or so on top of what I was already doing.
She does it while she's watching TV, though.
This will be different for each person, because if you have 100 items, it will be much faster than if you have 500. And here's my tip. If you are not sharing from a browser on your phone, on your iPad, or on your computer, which is the only option, I think, on the computer.
How else can you do it,
That's what you need to do. Do not share from the app, because you'll notice there's a little tiny lag where it pops up the congrats I shared or whatever that little notice says. And that lag is totally avoided when you're sharing from a browser. If you're not doing that, that's what you should be doing.
Can I ask the next question, please?
Yep.
How easy was it?
It was easy in terms of it didn't take any brain power, but it was a little more difficult to be disciplined enough to do it 6 times a day. It was getting a little old, but I did it. 7 days in a row, I did 6 shares. Didn't miss one.
What surprised you?
What surprised me? I don't know that anything surprised me.
Nothing surprises you.
I don't know that anything surprised me. Maybe the results were a little surprising, but let's keep going.
What should I know?
You should know that it takes discipline. It's not like you're going to get tired of it. I saw a video recently where they polled people who use Poshmark as sellers and said, what's your least favorite thing? And it is sharing. So it is going to be your least favorite thing, but just get over it, because you'll see why.
Let's talk about the results.
What were the results? Okay, what are you going to say?
I was going to say, what were the results?
You just did.
No, you had to read it.
I was trying to make sure.
I was going to say, what were the results?
In review, the expected amount of profit I was going to get per day was $51.15. This week, my average profit per day was $83.94.
That's pretty big.
That is a 64% increase. Is that right? Something's not right about those numbers, but I'll figure it out. It was 51 and then it was 83. Yeah, that's right. 64% higher than I thought it was going to be, than my normal baseline.
Make sense.
Sorry, my head just wasn't working for a second. So that's a pretty good increase. That was almost $33 a day for an extra hour of work. Of profit, not of sales.
I'll take $33 an hour all day.
So let's go on to the next question.
Oh. Would you do it again?
Yeah.
What happens now is I get to help share her closet sometimes.
We have been off of this for a week. So what I do, as you've heard in the other videos, is the week after I do this experiment, I go back to normal So my closet settles down. So any residual benefits from what I was doing go away because I'm going to do something else and experiment.
If you ever see anything on her closet that is shared that's sold or not for sale, that's all me.
But anyway, we went back to 3 a day on purpose. But in the future, yes, we are going to be sharing more. After these experiments are over, that will be something I implement. And I don't think I'll ever pay for a virtual assistant because I can do an extra share or 2 a day instead of some of the other crazy things I tried.
And she has a virtual assistant named Dave.
Well, he's in progress.
Virtual assistant in progress.
So that's the end of the questionnaire.
All right.
So bottom line, you hear people talk about you need to share more. And that's just a general idea. But here's concrete numbers that my sales went up by 64% with sharing 6 times a day. Now, I don't know what the magic number is.
What if you did 10 times a day?
And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if there's a number where it's just pointless anymore. But if you're not aware, and probably if you're watching this video, you are aware. But when you share your own item, it puts it to the top of the search results.
Here's something.
And so it's basically promoting your item for free. That's how I get over the hump of mentally, why am I doing this? You are promoting your item for free. You can definitely list your items and never share them. And maybe sell it someday if you find the right buyer. But when you're promoting your item for free all the time and you're the first or second or third thing somebody sees when they're searching, the odds of you making the sale are better. So the more you put your item to the top, the better your odds are.
I had another question.
I wanted to finish my statement first
before
you asked your ridiculous question.
Long-winded. So, what happens if you accidentally share something to a posh party?
There's no accident about it.
No, I accidentally did that.
That's no big deal. So the posh parties.
But it looked like it was for a certain kind of clothing, and it was like a t-shirt that I shared with it.
If you try to share, and it depends on what you're on, what the iPad or a phone or your laptop.
I wasn't on anything.
Hold on.
Wasn't even drinking wine.
Let's say it's the best in tops party, okay? This is just an example. Let's say it's the best in tops and you're sharing a pair of jeans and you accidentally click to put it in the best in tops. On some things that you're on, it will tell you that it can't be shared.
Okay.
But and I can't remember which it is. On others, it will not. It just won't pop up your item was shared message. And if you don't notice, it's not shared anywhere.
I didn't want to get you in trouble with any of your PFFs.
There's no getting in trouble. It just won't work if it's the wrong party.
PFFs, I'll be so sad.
No, nobody can tell.
If you need all the PFFs you can get.
This is like a whole different video about parties. I haven't tested the parties thing.
I don't know what the parties are, but I get
just
invited to them all the time.
They're like a separate room you can go in Poshmark that lists all the things in this category, and you can browse through them or search through them. They're just combined into one little feed of stuff happening. And most people, I don't think, shop at the parties. Most people ignore the parties, and they make no difference.
So nobody even saw my mistake, and now I've
nobody knew your mistake, except now everybody knows your mistake.
I should have just shut up.
So anyway, that is the end of the experiment for sharing your closet.
Over?
Yes.
No more things to do?
No, that one experiment. This one video.
There's going to be a part 4.
I highly recommend sharing your closet at least 6 times a day. It worked very well for me. Just be disciplined. Try it yourself for a week. Report back what happens to you. But I definitely saw a big jump in sales.
Tell your friends you'll see them in a week.
It doesn't take that long. Just commit to do it. And one final thought. I did not have a set schedule for this. There were days when we went to the Goodwill outlet and I didn't share for like 5 hours straight, and I did a bunch in the evening. There were days when I did it There was one day I could not sleep and I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I did it right then. And then I did it again at 8. I mean, there were days when it was mostly in the morning. There were days when it was almost all in the evening. So I don't know if there's specific times that are better than others, but I did not have a set schedule and just happened to pick great times to share. It was all over the board, so that didn't make any difference. That's my final thought. Dave, any final thoughts?
How's the weather in your neck of the woods? Because it snowed here a bunch. I got locked in my truck. Like I had to hop into the passenger side and hit my shoulder into the door to even get out of my truck. I shouldn't have gone out.
That's a great final thought. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more of my experiments that are coming up. Go back and watch the others. We're going to figure out the best way to make sales with real numbers.
I'll be here to interview her the whole way.
Yep. That'll be fun. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks.